Berserk by Kentaro Miura is a highly influential manga series that has inspired numerous works in the dark fantasy genre. Here are a few examples of works that have been influenced by Berserk. 1. Dark Souls video game series. The Dark Souls series of video games is heavily inspired by Berserk, with many elements of the game drawing directly from the manga. The series features a dark, foreboding atmosphere, brutal combat, and intricate world building, all of which are hallmarks of Berserk. 2. Castlevania animated series draws inspiration from Berserk in its dark, gothic aesthetic and its emphasis on action and horror. 3. Devil May Cry video game series features fast-paced, stylish action and gothic horror themes. 4. Attack on Titan manga and anime series. 5. The Witcher video game with its mature storytelling, its emphasis on moral ambiguity, and its portrayal of medieval warfare. Kentaro Miura, the creator of Berserk, was influenced by a variety of sources when he was creating the manga series. Some of his major influences include 1. Dark fantasy literature. Miura was heavily influenced by dark fantasy literature, particularly the works of Michael Moorcock, J.R.R.Tolkien, and Robert E. Howard. 2. Medieval history. Miura was also influenced by medieval history, particularly the history of Europe during the Middle Ages. He was interested in the conflicts, politics, and social dynamics of this period, and sought to incorporate them into the world building of Berserk. 3. Horror films. Miura was a fan of horror films, particularly those by directors like John Carpenter and George Romero. He was drawn to the suspense, tension, and terror of these films, and sought to incorporate similar elements into the storytelling of Berserk. 4. Manga and anime, particularly the works of Yoshihiro Tatsumi, Osamu Tezuka, and Akira Toriyama. 5. Western comics. Miura was a fan of Western comics, particularly the works of Frank Frazetta and Bernie Wrightson. He was drawn to the dynamic, muscular character designs of these works, and sought to incorporate similar elements into the character designs of Berserk. Michael Moorcock is a British author who has had a significant influence on Kentaro Miura, the creator of Berserk. Moorcock is known for his work in the sword and sorcery genre of fantasy literature. Here are a few ways in which Moorcock's work has influenced Berserk. 1. The use of antiheroes. Moorcock's work often features antiheroes as the main characters, rather than the traditional heroes found in many works of fantasy literature. These antiheroes are often morally ambiguous, and may even be villainous in some cases. This idea of the anti-hero is central to Berserk, which features a protagonist, Guts, who is a ruthless mercenary with a tragic past. 2. The use of complex world building. This idea of complex world building is also present in Berserk, which features a vast and detailed world with its own history, religions, and political systems. 3. The use of dark and brooding themes. Moorcock's work often deals with dark and brooding themes, such as mortality, madness, and the futility of human existence. These themes are also central to Berserk, which deals with issues such as trauma, betrayal, and the consequences of violence. 4. The use of powerful, magical artifacts. Moorcock's work often features powerful, magical artifacts that have the ability to alter the course of history. This idea of powerful artifacts is also present in Berserk, which features a number of powerful magical items that play a key role in the story. In Moorcock's Elric, the protagonist wields a sword called Stormbringer, which has a will of its own and feeds on the souls of those it kills. In Berserk, the protagonist Guts wields a massive sword called the Dragon Slayer, which is capable of killing even supernatural creatures, otherworldly supernatural beings. And Elric's world is part of Moorcock's larger Eternal Champion mythos, which spans multiple planes of existence. while Berserk's world features its own unique mythology and pantheon of gods. There are several dark gods in Michael Moorcock's Elric series that are similar to the god hand in Berserk. One example is Elric, the Lord of Chaos, who is a powerful and malevolent deity that Elric often summons for aid. Like the god Hand, Elric is a supernatural being with immense power and influence over the mortal realm. Another example is J.R.R.Tolkien, the Queen of Swords, who is a dark and seductive goddess of sorcery and war. Like the god Hand, J.R.R.Tolkien is associated with death and destruction, and is often worshipped by those who seek power at any cost.